Hey everybody, Nick Espinoza, your chief security fanatic here, and today we are actually talking about the President of the United States because securing the President's personal technology is no easy task. And an article from the BBC actually really had me thinking about this because if you think about it, some of the largest and most prominent hacking targets on the planet, hands down, are U.S. presidents, state-sponsored actors, hacktivist groups, ransomware gangs, the 400-pound fat guy on his bed in New Jersey. Everybody is trying to hack the president, the gadgets, the phones, the other tech, and on and on and on. This is a serious problem. Now, if we go back in history prior to 2009 or President Obama, this really wasn't much of an issue. In the 2000s and before, the only real personal devices that a president would have would be the actual computer, the old like Windows 95, 98 kind of machine, and smart mobile phones, or I should say non-smart mobile phones, the old flip phone, the Motorola StarTAC. That is a much harder hit. We were much less connected back then, but then came Barack Obama. He was so attached to his BlackBerry, for example, that he actually, and I remember reading articles on this, fought with his security advisors to actually keep it. And this is a fight that the president, then President Obama, actually won, quote, through a compromise that allows him to stay in touch with senior staff and a small group of personal friends, according to an official at the time. Now, obviously, since then, tech has absolutely exploded, and so that is obviously a very serious problem for the White House cybersecurity advisor and other security personnel. When the iPad, for example, came out in 2010, naturally, President Obama wanted one. So basically, the national security advisors and the White House cybersecurity specialists came up with the Obama Pad, which was a quote-unquote hardened version and a more secure version of the iPad, which essentially was also then replicated for his staff. Apparently, it didn't even have Wi-Fi, and so it was very hard to actually hit. After Obama, obviously, came President Trump in 2016, probably one of the most prolific Twitter users on the planet, though not anymore. And so during his term, he insisted on using his personal device, reportedly a series of burner phones that he would use briefly and then replace them for security reasons. If I recall correctly, in 2016, when he started, he actually had an Android, and then that got replaced with a series of phones that could be spun up for him just to make sure that nobody had persistence in any of his technology. He also, though, was widely reported to be very skeptical of computer use and email, preferring paper for most communication. So he wasn't really an emailer or computer use, and that is true from what we understand of his personal life prior to being president, when he was on The Apprentice and all of those kinds of things. This is a person that wanted to use paper, not electronics. And that brings us to Joe Biden, the current president of the United States, who seems to like his gadgets. Now, he has been photographed wearing an Apple Watch, obviously using Apple products then. He also reportedly owns a Peloton exercise bike that he wanted to bring into the White House that basically the security advisors said no to, because it has a computer screen, a camera, a microphone, and all connected to the internet. If you know anything about, Pelotons, they connect you to a trainer and all that kind of stuff. And you can rip out the camera and the microphone, but that also kind of defeats the purpose of having a Peloton that basically connects you to that instructor. And can you imagine you're like Topher, the Peloton instructor guy, and the president of the United States literally appears on your screen, and you're the guy that actually has to motivate the president on a virtual bike ride up a mountain or something. That would be a rather wild job to have. I have to imagine Topher would be vetted before he got President Biden as a client. And according to President Biden's biographer, Evan Osnos, the president also uses the Apple News app, which is obviously very deeply concerning because software can be one of the hardest things to protect. It can be cracked, altered, all those kinds of things, or even used to hijack and exfiltrate data. So that's a huge problem. So securing a president is a very important thing, and obviously it's taken very seriously. And so limiting that use of technology, that scope, I can't imagine the president's going to walk into the local Starbucks, and connect his phone and talk. But it also goes down to the staff as well. What we don't realize oftentimes is that we are interconnected. Who I message, email, IM, whatever that is, I am now connected to that person in some way, shape, or form. And a president that is emailing, IMing, all of this to his staff, his friends, his family, whoever that is. Now we have multiple entry points to possibly get an infection into the president in some way, shape, or form, or rather into one of his devices or gadgets. That's a huge problem too. So securing a president, securing a world leader is a very difficult thing, and we know that essentially the world is trying to eavesdrop on the president in the same way that the United States is trying to eavesdrop on other world leaders. And so we're all in this together in that sense, but this is a huge, huge problem that we've got going on. And so hopefully President Biden will be as secure as we can possibly make him while he's using his Peloton or his Apple Watch or Apple News or whatever it is. And that is going to be a very serious problem for the next 4 years. And the next president, whoever that is, will have the exact same challenges as technology continues to increase, also as do hacking techniques and criminal techniques. And so hopefully we'll be able to maintain that security around the executive branch of the U.S. government, not to mention the legislative and judicial. And that is your news of the day. And please like, share, follow me here on Facebook and Twitter at NickAESP. And please feel free to subscribe to me at YouTube as well. And as always, stay safe and stay online. Thanks, guys.